In this video, we are going to solve 3 questions from the book Precalculus, Graphical, Numerical, Algebraic, Chapter 2, Lesson 3, questions 66, 67, and 68. Question number 66. The equation, which is Vx is equal to x multiplied by 15 minus 2x multiplied by 60 minus 2x. Distribute. After distributing and adding and multiplying, this is the volume that we found. For b, we have to find the domains first. So, we know that we have x, we have 60 minus 2x, and we have 15 minus 2x. We're going to put x is greater than 0. 60 minus 2x is greater than 0. And 15 minus 2x is greater than 0. This is already answered. We have to do this now. Minus 60 minus 60 minus 2x is greater than negative 60. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. We have to flip the sign now. So, x is less than 30. We're going to do this now. Negative 15 minus negative 15. Negative 2x is greater than negative 15. Divided by negative 2, divided by negative 2. We have to flip the sign now. Negative x, without the negative, is less than 7.5. Now we have to find the domain by drawing this. 0, 7.5, and 30. X is greater than 0. So, x is greater than 0. 7.5 is, x is less than 7.5. So, x is less than 7.5 and x is less than 30. This place is where the 3 lines meet. So the domain is 0, open bracket 0, and 7.5, open bracket 50x squared plus 900x. As we can see, the domain is between 0 and 7.5. We neglected the 30. But the problem is that the question wanted us to find the points that are at least 450 inches cubed. So this is what we did. We drew another line for the 450 right here, as we can see in blue. After that, we can see the points where x is at least 450. So, x is at least 450 at 0.55 and 6.786. Now I'm going to write it in interval notation. 0.55 and 6.786. They're both in closed brackets because they said at least. So 0.55 and 6.786 are included. And now as an inequality is 0.55 is less than or equal to x, and less than or equal to 6.786. This is interval notation, and this is an inequality. Again, for the graph, why we neglected this and this. We neglected the bottom part because they said that they wanted it to be at least 450. And we neglected this part, this one, because the answer should be between 0 and 7.5. Question number 67.
So we know that the length is 10 centimeters, the width is 25 centimeters, and the edges, which are going to be folded up, are x, which is going to be the height. Since we are trying to find the length without the edges, since the edges are going to be cut off or like folded, we're going to set 10 minus 2x. The x's are from the edges, and 25 minus 2x. We are trying to find the volume. So the volume is length times width times height. So we're setting the values. The length is 10 minus 2x multiplied by the width, which is 25 minus 2x, multiplied by the height, which is x. The last part of the question says, determine all values of x so that the volume of the resulting box is at most 175 centimeters cubed. So we're going to set the equation that we just made to less than or equal to 175 centimeters cubed.
We have the equation. We are going to set each part greater than 0 because the height cannot be 0 equal to 0, or it cannot be negative. We're going to set each value greater than 0. We did that. We found x is greater than 0, x is less than 5, and x is less than 12.5. We are now going to draw a number line. The three lines meet between 0 and 5, so that means the possible values for x lie between those. Here we drew a table, and we chose the values from 0 to 5, and we found the corresponding y values. So 1 is 184, so the answer of this graph has to be between 1 and 0, because 184 is really close to 175. So the answer is going to be really close to 1. We are going to estimate that it's about 1.9. 2 is really big. 3 is also really big. 4, the values between 3 and 4 are good. So as you can see, it's almost in the middle. So we're going to put 3.5 approximately. We can't get exact solutions. We did this to find which parts of the graph are less than or equal to 175. So then we find that 0 to 1.9 union 3.5 to 5 are the values at which the volume is equal to 175 or less.
Question number 68. Question 68 will figure out the possible values of x.
So this is our function that represents the volume of the box. So now our GCF is 2x. Our greatest common factor is 2x. So we're going to put our 2x outside the parentheses, and now we're going to factor. So we're going to divide all the numbers by 2 and expand. We're going to expand more to figure out the possible values for x. So we will only take negative 105x, and we're going to figure out two possible values that if we add them, they're going to give you 105. So negative 62 and negative 43. If you add them, you're going to get negative 105. And by the way, if you multiply negative 62 and negative 43, you're going to get 2666x, which makes it correct. So this is for the expanding. Now we're going to factor more. So first thing, we're going to do grouping. We're going to take these two values, then we're going to take the other two values. So we're going to factor now. So just to make sure that our answer is correct, negative 2x times negative x is going to give me 2x squared. Negative 2x times 31 is going to give me negative 62x.
Now you'll have to check for the next one, and you're going to have the values correct. So our factoring is correct. Now our factor common term is negative x plus 31. So for our final equation, we're going to have the 2x, then our common term, and then what are we left with? Negative 2x plus 43. So this is our final equation. So now finally we're gonna solve for x. So as you can see, this is our beautiful equation, and if you notice that all of them are greater than
0. So all of them are greater than 0 because h and v, the height and the volume, can never be equal to a negative value, a negative number. So all of them are greater than 0. The number should be greater than 0 to be a height or a volume, because height and volume can never be equal to a negative number. So we're just gonna now
So we'll now just do the calculations to figure out our possible three values, which are x greater than 0, x less than 31, and x less than 21.5.
Now this is our number lines.
And now we have our three x values. So
0, x is greater than 0, so 0 is going to this direction. Now for 21.5, it's going to go to the opposite direction, and for 31, it's going to go to the same direction as 21.5. Now, where do they all meet? Where do the three lines meet? They meet from 0 till 21.5. So this is where they meet.
our possible values are between 0 and 21.5.
And 31 is going to be rejected. So, and why do we have the parentheses? We have these parentheses because if you plug in the formula 2x negative x plus 31, negative 2x plus 43, and if you plug in any value for the x, you're gonna have it correct value because they're between 0 and 21.5, while 31 is rejected
because it's not between 0 and 21.5.
So as you can see, this is the graph that I drew. These are the x possible values that we got. So now, the negative side, we're not going to take it because, as I said again, repeating, h and v can never be equal to negative values, negative numbers. So we're only going to take the part up. So now 31, even 31, we're gonna reject it because as you saw, when we did our domain, it was from 0 till 21.5. So we're gonna reject the 31. And we'll only take the values from 0 till 21.5.
And this is the graph in decimal.